Hey there everyone, welcome back to the Dan Cave and welcome to another video build, and this time it's the NuNu 1/24 scale BMW E46 320i, the super production car with an aftermarket scheme. So it's been a couple of weeks since last video build, so yeah, we're back with a car this time. So 1/24 car again, one of the curbside kits from NuNu. Enjoyable kit. Goes together very well. I went with some aftermarket decals and the detail upset as well, which adds a few things like a little bit of photo etch, etc. So if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like the video. Feel free to leave a comment down below as well, after you've watched the video, of course. So sit back and watch the video. It's fairly short, so let's head on over and get to the relevant action, and I'll come back at the end with some final thoughts. See you in 20 minutes or so. So, NuNu's BMW 320i, set of decals from LB Productions, Hasseroder scheme from Brinkman Motorsport, and a detail upset to boot as well. So, as with many of my car builds, starting off with all the parts that need to be body coloured. And for this kit, this includes the body itself, the chassis, the roll cage, the interior parcel shelf. Pretty much everything is in the overall body color scheme, which is a yellow, if you of course spotted the decal scheme flashing up earlier on in the video. So once all the parts are cleaned up, sprue gates cleaned up, front and rear bumper can be attached at this stage. They don't foul the chassis enough to warrant not including them at this stage, so I'm using some Tamiya white top for the main sprue points, and then using some Tamiya extra thin to run into the joint between the bumper and the bodywork. So I like to assemble the roll cage, makes it easier to paint. You don't have any seam lines, so it's pushed into place, loosely fit, and then any of the cross members are then added in and carefully held together with 3 or 4 hands. Sometimes 5 or 6 hands might be helpful, and they're glued together. Once all that's done, it's over to the spray booth to start the priming process. So UMP white is the primer of choice. Shot through my UMP Apex at about 25-30 psi, and laying down 2 or 3 coats across the bodywork, chassis, the interior, the wheels, the roll cage. Everything is getting primed in white at this stage. Now, for the body colour itself, the colour call out is actually for TS15. So TS15 for me is a great paint, but it is worth decanting it. So using a straw, a pot, some cling film, a stirring stick, basically just decanting that paint straight into a pot. Leave that to sit for 24 hours to completely off gas, and then you can thin it with some Tamiya lacquer thinner with retarder, and then begin the spray process. So first couple of coats are really light coats. So we're trying to put down just a thin coat. Slowly build up that yellow colour. As you can see, we're beginning to build up the colour density as we go through the coats. And of course, one thing to remember with TS paints can be sprayed reasonably wet, medium wet. They actually go down better if you spray them medium wet, especially once you get towards like the 3rd, 4th, and maybe 5th coat. So it does leave a little bit of a sheen on the paint itself, but that's absolutely fine, and that's absolutely normal for TS paints. And I have to admit, TS paints are starting to become like a go-to for me for certain jobs. I've been really enjoying them lately. I think they spray beautifully, and coverage is excellent as well. But as you can see, I'm just getting around all those nooks and crannies to make sure I'm happy with the yellow paint. So that paint is then left to cure for at least 24 hours, and then it's time to start on the decaling process on the bodywork. So I'm going to speed all this footage up, and we'll stick on a little bit of background music to get you through the decal phase. So of course, once all the decals are done and left to set for a good 24 hours, it's time to head on over to the spray booth to lay down the 2K clear coat. So Gravity Spain, 2K, mixture ratio 3 to 1 to 1, 3 coats. First coat is a basic, reasonably light tack coat. You're not looking for a full shine at this stage, just basically a nice layer that will help the subsequent layers completely adhere. So second coat becomes the important coat where you're actually laying down enough of a wet coat. You don't want to see any orange peel, you don't want to miss any areas, and you want complete coverage at this stage. I do really like this scheme. I think under the clear coat, the yellow from the TS15 is beginning to pop really well, and the contrast to the Hasseroder decals is working very well. As you can see, I'm just laying down enough material for that second coat to have a completely shiny clear coat. Once again, put it away for 15 minutes, come back for your third coat, and you're just laying down not a huge amount of material, just making sure there's no orange peel. I'm happy with the clear, because basically with 2K, what you see here is how it's going to set. You may get one or two dust spots, but if you put it away in a nice box, hopefully you won't get any dust spots. So that's exactly what's been done with this. It's set aside for a good 4 to 5 days. And meanwhile, I can get on with doing things like the running gear, the interior, any of the minor exterior bits. So this is all the running gear bits. And of course, over to the spray booth. And for these parts, because most of them are metallics, they're getting primed in UMP black primer. Once again, using UMP Apex airbrush at about 25 to 30 psi and laying down 2 to 3 coats of the UMP black primer. Once the primer is completely cured, coming back in, and in this case for the exhaust, I'm using some Alclad, I think it's steel, which is used on the exhaust, the rear diff. Again, it's a curbside kit. Very little of this detail is going to be seen. But then once those parts are painted, there is a little bit more detailed painting using a brush. In this case, I'm adding in some paint onto the springs on the shock absorbers. And once those details are added, those parts can be CA glued to the bottom of the chassis. So in this case, this is the rear diff, drive shafts, sat in over the suspension subframe. Of course, the BMW is a rear-wheel drive car. And then there's a little bit of photo etch, which just adds a nice bit of visual detail to the underside of the car. Not that it's ever going to be seen much, but we all know it's there, and that's the important thing. Front shock absorbers are added with the steering rack as well. And then there's a subframe, sits over that and holds that all in place. And that leaves the steering posable if needs be. And that CA glue is used for all the attachment at this stage. Rear suspension parts are added. As you can see, the underside of the fuel tank, that's added as well. The exhaust is put in place as well. There's some underside guards as well. They're painted in, I think they're left and actually in the UMP black primer. And then for the brakes themselves, they have some photo etch parts to add, which dresses them up very, very nicely. Adds just that extra level of just realism with real metal parts. So polycaps can be added, and those brake discs. Once again, CA glued in place. And that's done across the front and rear. Of course, make sure you follow the instructions, get the orientation of the brake calipers the right way. And lo and behold, that's the underside of the car done. The interior, the detail upset includes some carbon decals as well. So that includes carbon for the interior door cards. There's some carbon fibre for the roll cage as well. And they're laid using the normal process, some warm water, heat gun and UMP decal solutions. So a little bit of normal or normal or strong, and those parts are sorted out. Detail upset includes a nice decal for the back of the seat, and that yellow Kevlar pattern that comes in as one piece, which again, using the normal decal process, UMP solutions, a little bit of heat, that lays down absolutely fine with almost minimal creasing. And as you can see on a roll cage, there's also some Kevlar parts on that. So interior details like gear stick are added. And then there's some carbon fiber parts for the pedal area from recollection. And then we can begin working on the photo etch seatbelt parts. Again, these parts come from the detail set, which is one of the bonuses of the detail upsets. You do get some nice seatbelt hardware. So they need a little bit of folding and then some careful measuring of required lengths for harnesses themselves. And they, of course, fed through that seatbelt hardware. Minimal swearing, minimal fuss this time. It all went reasonably smoothly on these seatbelts. It doesn't always go that way. And then it's a case of fixing them in place. Now, I do switch back and forth between double-sided tape and super glue. I think I've used super glue on this one. And all that seatbelt hardware is just popped in place. And again, just adds a level of realism and detail that I just think seatbelt decals just do not do. So, further added details, there is fire extinguisher which gets added as well. The dashboard is ready, pedals are in, it's time for the seat to go in. So that's using some CA glue. Make sure you mount the seatbelt hardware in the right place as well. Drop in the roll cage and the instrument display, and then the interior door cards can be added. And using some CA glue and some CA kicker, just get an instant bite on that. And then that interior tub is pretty much complete. So now that the clear coat has had plenty of curing time, at least 4 or 5 days, it's time to go back in and flatten back that clear coat, trying to remove any dust blemishes, any edges, any kind of rounded build-up around panel gaps. Just trying to flatten it back, remove that little bit of a toy-like appearance that 2K can have. I'm using some God Hand sponges. I think it's 6, 8 and 10. So starting with the 6, working my way through the grits, using some water, of course, using a little bit of Castile soap. Once I'm happy that that's all been flattened back, it's time to move on to the polishing stage. So I'm using the UMP polish system with a rotary tool. There's fairly flat surfaces, not many edges, so I thought it's worthwhile going with the rotary tool this time. So using the UMP compound first, which is the more aggressive of the two compounds, working that into the paint surface, beginning to bring back that lovely shine from the 2K finish, and then moving on to the polish. Polish is a much finer grit, and that brings up an absolutely beautiful clear coat finish on the roof of this BMW 320i. And you can see as I wipe it down, I'm staring at the clear coat in amazement, in absolute joy and pleasure, because I think it's come out really, really well. So assembly of some of the outside parts can start making sure that the glasswork fits as well. Sometimes on NuNu kits it can be a tight fit, so it's worth dry fitting before you commit. Interior tub can be added to the chassis. You can see top right, the wheels and tyres are done already, and they get installed just after the interior tub. Because they've got a tight fit with the chassis, it's worth putting them on now, because it might be difficult to get in if the chassis is in place beforehand. As you can see, the rear ones actually have quite a lot of camber on them, which is probably close to how the race cars looked, maybe a little bit over exaggerated. Nonetheless, the bodywork's popped on. There's a lot of external details to add. So of course things like the kidney grills are added, wing mirrors are added. Of course, for these type parts, I'm trying to use PVA-based glue. So I'm using Glue and Glaze from Deluxe Materials. For parts like the headlights and the rear lights, it's always a good idea just to run a black Sharpie around the outside edge of the lights. Just gives the appearance of the black rubber seals that tend to go around the outside. It actually makes quite a substantial difference to how headlights look on model cars. Very small but really important step. And then it's a final once over. Make sure I'm happy with everything. The aerial's been added. I'm very, very pleased with how this has come out. So it's final photos. I'm really pleased with this. I really enjoyed the build. Very simple, very straightforward, but a very rewarding result. Iconic shape of the BMW 3 Series. It's not an M3. It's not a super touring car, but it is a touring car. So I enjoy building it. Definitely build it again. I've got more decals and another detail upset in the stash. So I think it's time to head back to me for some final thoughts. So there we go. That's the video build of the NuNu 1/24 scale BMW 320i E46 in its Super Production racing scheme. Brinkmann Motorsport, LB Productions decal set for the car I went with was the Winkelhock car. So, hope you enjoyed the build. I know I enjoyed putting this kit together. Fairly simple, straightforward curbside build. The detail upset adds a little bit in terms of, things like brake discs and photo etch. But ultimately, there's not a huge amount offered from it. So I think it's a nice to have for the build and maybe not a necessary thing. But I did enjoy the build nonetheless. I think when I built it, I was probably in between probably more complex builds. So this was a nice kind of break at the time because it was built quite a while ago now. I have got a backlog of videos to get through. But nonetheless, that's the build. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber already. Feel free to leave a comment and please like the video. And I'll see you very, very soon in another video. So it's bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.